What's going on, folks? I'm going to be changing out these struts on a Chevy Traverse. It's probably about the same from about the 2009 up to probably about the 2000, and I believe it's like 15, but I'm not all the way sure. First thing you're going to have to do if you're working on the driver's side is you want to remove this plastic piece right here, and on this side also you'll have to remove your windshield wipers just by taking off this little top cover, little black cover just pops off of it on top of it. And then you want to take this this little bolt off right here, which takes like I'm using a 5/8, but whichever one it takes, you just pop that off and you'll be able to lift up this part right here, because to get to the top bolts on your strut you have to get underneath here. If you happen to be working on your passenger side, you don't have to remove your windshield wiper. You could just try to kind of bend this part up right here. You can get to your bolts that's inside of there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this off, then I'm gonna get to the next part. All right, folks, as you can see right here, I had to remove the windshield wiper bolt right here. Once you take that bolt off, you kind of wiggle the windshield wiper to come off. You also may want to make sure that you have a mark on your window to show where it goes back on it. But once I did that on this side, you can see now I can lift up and get inside of there to take off those three bolts that's underneath there. You don't have to take off the other windshield wiper. If you're working on the driver's side, just remove the one right here and then pop out these little clips that go in these little holes pretty much, and you'll be able to get access to it. Once you do that, now you want to come down here and remove your wheel off, take your wheel off, and once you do that, the first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and remove your sway bar bolt that's right here. You're going to want to take like a pair of vice grips or either a wrench to hold it in the back behind it, because if you don't, this will just keep on spinning pretty much. So you want to take this off, and once you do that, you'll come down here. This takes like a size 24, and you're going to take off these two nuts right here, this one here and this one right there. And once you take those nuts off, you'll have to hammer these bolts off because it's kind of threaded on the other side of this screw to where it won't just pop right out. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so first I'm taking off this sway bar right here. It takes a size 18. You want to take like a pair of vice grips or something to hold the back up. If you don't, it keeps spinning. But just like that, you'll have that little bolt off. Like I said, it takes a size 18. Then you could just pull your sway bar out like that and just set it aside like that, and that's pretty much done. Next step you're going to be doing is removing these two big bolts right here, which holds the strut onto the knuckle. I'll show you that when I got them loose. Alright, folks, basically we just went ahead and loosened up these bolts that's on the knuckle right here, which takes a size 24. You're going to need like a deep well to get to most of this stuff, so make sure you have like some deep well sockets, but take a size 24. And once you got these bolts loose like this, you don't want to take them all the way off, because you need then to take some type of a hammer, a sledgehammer or something like that to knock this in, because this side over here is threaded. So you don't want to hit also onto the screw itself. So take like a nice sledgehammer, and you have to kind of hit it. See how it's popping out? You see how it has that thread on it right there? So you just want to hit it like that, and once you got it all the way through, see it's loose now. You want to do the same thing at the bottom. Just like that. And once you got that through there, you see now how both of these now are pretty loose. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and remove. I'm going to remove like the top and leave the bottom one in. But actually I'm going to remove the bottom one, leave the top one in, because I got to go up there now and take the 3 screws out that go at the top of the strut, and I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, you can see once you take off this knuckle right here, or the strut off of the knuckle, a lot of times your rotor and caliper and all that can drop down, and it may put stress onto your brake line and stuff. So what you may want to do is, like I did, was I just took like a jack stand and kind of put it up underneath the knuckle right here, just to kind of hold it some, so when I remove this, it won't put a lot of tension on the brake line. What I'm doing now is removing the 3 screws that holds the strut in at the top pretty much. And I believe to take these off, I believe this is a size 15. Yeah, also before you remove this, you got to pull these things out right here, just holding on your ABS line. They just pop out. You'll have one that's right down here also. You just take like some needle nose, carefully pop that out like that. They just look like that right there on your ABS line. And once you got that loose and you have everything else loose, then your strut will come out just like this. You can see right here is where I took the 3 bolts off right here that went up to the top of it right there. It just goes up into that little opening right there. 3 bolts just right there. Now that I got that done, let's do the reverse process. Put the strut back up there. I'm gonna put like some of the bolts on here to kind of hold it up. Then I'm not gonna tighten them up all the way, so I could then put these back in, and then from there I'll get everything back together. All right, I'll show you in a second. All right, so I got pretty much the strut back in. Don't forget to plug your ABS line back up. It goes in a little slot right here. You just plug it in the top right here, and the one down here just plugs into a hole right here. Once I got this done, now I'm gonna go ahead and put these screws through. I'm gonna go up top and tighten up the rest of the strut pretty much, and then pretty much I should be done. Sometimes you may have to get a front wheel alignment after you do this. It just depends after you drive it how it feels. But okay, all right, folks. Please check out our other helpful videos. Please like, subscribe, and share, folks. Thanks. I want to make this video to talk to you about why DIY, and learning to DIY is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. This will help you save time and money and bring about a great sense of achievement and accomplishments. Many people don't believe that they have the time or skill to DIY things. So I came up with a simple formula that I use to put value to when I DIY different projects. My simple formula is to take the cost quoted for repair divided by your hourly wage. Then figure out how many hours of your typical job you would have worked to make that amount of money. For example, if you were quoted a brake and rotor replacement job for $400 and the cost of parts is $160, then take 400 minus 160, which will leave $240. Now take that $240 and divide it by your hourly wage of say $15 an hour, which would mean that you will have to work 16 hours of your job to get the amount of money it would take to pay for that job. Of course, if you've never changed brakes or rotors before, you may not have the proper jacks and jack stands and the tools and which you may need to buy to do this job.